We live in a world that can break you down. We're all fighting battles the world can't see. But what if healing wasn't about pretending to be perfect? Healing starts the moment you stop pretending you're fine. Welcome to Help the People. Help the People is more than a podcast. It's a movement. A space for truth, for healing, for conversations that rebuild what life tried to destroy. Because kindness knows no enemy.
Welcome back to Help the People. I'm your host, Shannon Riley. And today's episode is personal. Not just for me, but for any black man who's ever walked into a room and felt the air ask him to shrink. We're talking about the roles we play. Not by choice, but by survival. See, for me in America, a black man doesn't have the choice to integrate, as you would think about what integration looks like for others. We have to adapt. We fold ourselves into shapes the world demands. And sometimes we're called successful only when we lose pieces of ourselves along the way. Today I want to name those roles, not to shame us, but maybe to give some enlightenment, maybe to free some. Because you can't step out of a mask if you don't know you're wearing one. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the roles we play and the roles we perform to stay alive. The quiet pressure to abandon our own reflection. And the cost of being accepted in a world that, maybe never fully welcomes us. Let's get into it. The first role I want to talk about is the street boss. I've grown up with some, I've seen others, and so I think it's a good place to start. Let's start in the place society loves to begin with, actually, the streets. From where I sit, people don't realize something simple. Most gang leaders, most people out there doing things are not criminals at their core. I think they're leaders, brilliant, strategic, organizers, and architects of influence. It's unfortunate that America didn't create, or the institutions that are prevalent in the communities that these individuals grow up in, didn't create pipelines for that genius. It creates traps. And so the first role we learn is power without protection. And you ask, what is the sellout here? Most will think the sellout is betraying their own people. But I'll argue against that. I think the sellout is betraying your own potential. When the only route you're offered is survival through danger. The second role that I think we take on, and certainly a role that I play, is the corporate mask wearer. This is the black man in the office, the mask wearer, the one who speaks in a different tone because the room requires it, the one who smiles through microaggressions, who lowers his shoulders, adjusts his base, and kind of performs professionalism like a well-rehearsed monologue. The world calls it fitting in, but we know it's not fitting in for the people who's doing it. It's hiding your light under a bushel. It's shrinking. What's the sellout here? It isn't betrayal. It's exhaustion. It's trading voice for visibility. And it takes a toll. The third role I think we take on is the respectable survivor. This is another role we play. The clean-cut, suit-wearing, articulate, non-threatening black man. The good one. The one society uses as a shield against the truth of racism. What I find is respectability isn't pride. It's armor. A survival tactic passed down like a family heirloom, right? And most of society, most of the world loves this version of us. As long as we never mention justice, identity, or pain. And that's the sellout they want. Not our integrity, our silence. The fourth, the preacher in chains. And in my book, Murder of Crows, I talked about this, but I think some of you will recognize this because we see it in the churches. The performance, the noise, the shouting, the show. But we know many preachers don't preach the truth because they're bound by funding, fear, and the 501(c) muzzle. They can talk about salvation, but not liberation. They can shout about heaven, but whisper about the harm that society inflicts on us, an institution inflict on us. The sellout here isn't the preacher. It's the system that rewards silence over truth. The fifth, we have the activist celebrity. This is the activist who starts with fire, but ends with branding deals. The causes become content. The outrage becomes opportunity. And slowly, the message becomes edible because that's where the money is. That rage, that passion, that fervor is gone. And the selling out is not intentional. It's the cost of surviving a world that monetizes our wounds. The sixth, the black politician. And let me be clear. When I talk about the black politician, it isn't about parties or elections. From where I sit, this is about identity. The black politician is often forced into the hardest role of all, playing chess on a board rigged long before he arrived. Every decision becomes a compromise. Every truth comes with a consequence. And what is the sellout? Sometimes it's choosing the least harmful option in a room full of impossible choices. And anyone who's worked in leadership, anyone who's worked in certain positions, they understand that. It's difficult. The pressure is real. The seventh, the entertainment chameleon. In entertainment, black men are asked to play caricatures of ourselves. The thug, the clown, the hyper-masculine warrior, the sexual machine, the mystical Negro that is there to guide and benefit the greater society. And when a black man refuses to costume, the industry says he's difficult, unremarkable, or even not authentic enough. Selling out here, it's becoming someone else's version of blackness, portrayed on the screen for all our children and youth to see. Then there's the silent specialists. The quietest role of all. The black man who stays silent. Not because he doesn't see the harm, and not because he doesn't feel the hurt, but because speaking up has never been safe. Silence is not betrayal in this instance. Silence is trauma, lived, experienced, realized in survival mode. And unfortunately, that's where a lot of us sit. Here's the truth. I don't think black men are selling out. Everything I mentioned is adaptive. We're shape-shifting. We're performing roles in a system that were never designed for our fullness or wholeness. These systems are designed just for gain, monetary gain. I think by naming these roles, understanding where you fit, for me anyway, it's the beginning of freedom. Because once you know you're wearing a mask, you can choose to take it off. And maybe that's what liberation looks like. Not breaking the system first, but breaking the performance the system demands of us. If this resonated with you, please like, please share with someone who you think may benefit from listening. I want to take this time to thank anyone who has taken the time to listen and letting me share my thoughts and feelings with them. We have reached over 500 downloads. That's a blessing, and I'm very thankful. Like, share, comment. I'm interested in any show ideas you may have, or anyone who want to come on the show and maybe chop it up for a while and talk about some of these topics I've raised. I'm Shannon Riley. This is Help the People, and today's message is simple. Black men don't need permission to be whole. We only need truth. Until next time, family, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, kindness knows no enemy.